No. What's up, everybody? Yeah, man, my heart been super worried and worrisome. And I just been stressed out, man, about the shooting, man, the last couple days. I had to make a video on this, and yeah, for all those who already subscribed to WeStar, man, we don't just do music. We don't try to be doing, you know, all upcoming and current events. My bad, y'all. I ain't doing a live video, but yeah, our video. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna be doing all type of videos, man, not just music. I put those up like a couple years back. I really appreciate the subscribers that are the 200. I think it's about 300 subscribers that already subscribed to the channel. We're just gonna keep it pushing from here, man. I thank everybody. Salute. This video is pretty much a sad one. Why? Because of, you know, the circumstances behind it. You know, these kids got shot up and killed. Is really disturbing my heart. I don't know how to really process it because it seemed like it's a problem, you know, in the community, in the whole United States, you know what I mean? So we're gonna jump into that right now. I just want to deal with these couple videos, and so bear with me on this video as I go through it. I'll let you know my reaction to it. Thank you.
Those details, by the way, not sitting well with the Uvalde community based on reaction we're getting today. Ken Molestina speaking to a number of residents through this afternoon.
Well, following the updates that were offered by Texas DPS earlier today, I can tell you that there is a general sense of frustration and anger within the community here in Uvalde. Of course, it has been 3 days now, and the information that came out earlier today is not sitting well with this community, who is heavily grieving at this moment. Much of the frustration that we're talking about here is centered around some of the misinformation that was offered to the public by law enforcement. They offered that information early on in the investigation. The pressure on police officials is now very palpable following heavy criticism that they didn't do enough to stop the shooter, and they waited too long to take him out. Over at the Town Square Memorial, about 2 miles from the school, the 21 crosses there remain, and the memorial continues to grow. More mourners have been stopping by to drop off flowers and candles, and among the prayers there was also a lot of frustration. I spoke to the family members of one of the victims, Eliana Torres, who say their grief is now laced with anger.
We are supposed to trust them to drop off our child and pick them up at the end of the day, you know? So, I mean, yes, you need to. I mean, I could feel the rage. I could feel the energy here in this town, and it's sad. People are mourning, people are grieving. I mean, people want answers. Everybody.
A lot of families are mad right now because that, you know, there was a lot of things they could have done to prevent what happened. Like the cops waiting for like longer than waiting outside.
I don't think you could have prevented it from happening, but you probably could have saved some lives, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, you know, the way society is, people go crazy, right? And so, from bullying other kids bullying, that's why bullying is such a big deal, man, because this can turn, and it's just not school bullying, it's bullying in workplaces, it's bullying everywhere. So, you know, that has to stop, because it turns into stuff like this. And I'm not giving this shooter no excuse whatsoever, but when he said it could have been prevented, it probably couldn't have, you know. And if it was to be prevented, it would probably be years way before this, when, you know, the kid was getting bullied and going down this road to destruction, this crash course. So, you know, I don't want to, because he probably stressed out about his kid or whatever, so I'm not going to go into all that, but yeah, let's keep it rolling.
So again, 3 days now, two very high-profile news conferences that have taken place over here. The community members say they are now preparing for this presidential visit that will take place on Sunday. President Joe Biden, along with his wife, the First Lady Jill Biden, will be in Uvalde. They'll be here to pray and to mourn along with this community. That's the latest in Uvalde. Ken Molestina, CBS 11 News.
As you know, we did get that update earlier from DPS, right? So we want to give you a clear look at the timeline that we now have. Officials have told us what happened Tuesday morning in Uvalde. As you'll see, everything happened here very quickly, and at some moments here, at the same time. 11:27. Video shows the door that the gunman used to get inside the school. We now know it was propped open by a teacher. 11:28. The gunman crashes a vehicle into a ditch. Then, the teacher who left the door propped open runs inside the school to get a phone, but the door remained open. At the same time, two men in a nearby funeral home run to the crash scene, but turn around after the gun.
So I get, because in my mind, I'm thinking it's like where I was living at, schools were open. You could just walk through or hop the gate or something like that. I thought it was just free range where you can just walk through the school. I mean, especially most elementary schools are like that. Pretty sure the safety measures is really going to go up higher and higher now. So I guess it was locked there, and I guess the teacher left it open. That's crazy.
Gunman starts shooting at them while running toward the school. 11:30, a 911 call about the crash and a man with a gun. 11:31, the gunman hides behind cars in the school's parking lot. That's when police arrive at the school and find a teacher at the back door, but they don't see the gunman. This is also the point when the gunman starts shooting at the school. 11:32, the gunman gets into the school, through the propped open door, turns down a hallway, and starts shooting into a classroom. Police say based on audio evidence, the gunman shot more than 100 rounds at this time. 11:35, 3 police officers entered the school through the same door the gunman used. They are followed by other officers. The first 3 officers go toward the classroom where the gunman is with the door closed, and they were shot. 11:37, another 16 rounds fired by the gunman. 11:51, more police officers arrive. 12:15, the Border Patrol Tactical Unit arrives. 12:21, the gunman starts shooting again, possibly at the door of the classroom he's in. 12:50, police use a key they got from the school janitor. They open the classroom door and kill the gunman.
Hold up. So you telling me he was in there? I guess they trapped for about 45 minutes, right? So he went into the school, ended up going to the classroom, and I guess 2 cops came in there and tried to stop him. He got shot. So I don't know if they felt like they needed backup or whatever, but bro, that's kind of nuts. And so they saying that like around 12, 20, 50 or whatever on that time, they heard him shooting still, but I guess he was in the classroom trying to get out, trying to shoot the door out. So they locked him in there? Is that what happened? Hold on, man. I'm a little flabbergasted by this, bro. Hold on.
A number of survivors of Tuesday's shooting are now coming forward to begin to share the stories of what happened inside the school.
The shooter shot through the window and hurting my friend and my teacher. We were running out of the doors because like 2 police cars were covering our doors if the shooter was gonna come in, and then we just ran out of the room. So I was praying, thinking, why is this happening?
From the mouths of our children. This is 11-year-old Mia Cerrillo. She shared her brave story off camera. She says the gunman came into her classroom, said goodnight, and then shot her teacher. When he walked away, she smeared blood on herself, actually, and played dead to survive.
When he went in the classroom, he said, "You're all gonna die," and he just started shooting.
This morning, a chilling account for the first time of what went on inside that classroom, where multiple children and 2 teachers were fatally shot.
I was playing dead, so he won't shoot me.
10-year-old Samuel Salinas, one of the few survivors from his class, now recovering after an injury to his leg.
He shot my teacher, and then he shot the kids. I think he was aiming at me, like the thing, and then he, I guess, one of the chairs were there, so it blocked it, and, pieces in my leg.
Most of his friends and classmates not making it out alive.
I kind of don't feel safe going to school, and I feel hot, and sometimes at night I have nightmares too.
Also inside that classroom, 10-year-old Tess Mata.
It happened here, and it took my baby.
Tess adored her big sister Faith, loved making TikToks, and kept people laughing.
She put a smile on everybody's face every time.
She was always dancing. She always had the biggest smile ever.
Evadulia Horta's son, Rogelio Torres, also one of the victims.
Losing that little piece of my heart, I lost my son.
The mother of four says Rogelio was loving, happy, and liked to help others.
I think about him, what happened that day, what was going on in that classroom that he was in. He was crying out for me or something. I'm just like, what was his last, what he saw last.
And Eli Garcia, she was known to love Encanto and her abuelita, Nelda Lugo, who says every time she saw her granddaughter, she would run to her and give her hugs.
Siempre que llegaba, hi grandma, I love you.
And also being remembered, Nevai Bravo and Leila Salazar, and Alexander Rubio, or Lexi, was an all-A honor student, her mother calling her beautiful and smart, sharing on Facebook, "We told her we loved her and would pick her up after school. We had no idea this was goodbye." And this morning, unimaginable tragedy compounded. Just days after teacher Irma Garcia was gunned down, her husband Joe Garcia dying of a heart attack. The two were about to celebrate their 25th wedding anniversary. One of his final moments, laying flowers at the love of his life's memorial. They now leave behind 4 children, seen here overnight at a mass.
That's crazy. I lost my girl too, and about 2 years ago. I ain't even gonna go into the circumstances because I might start breaking down right now, but I'm still going through it, bro. But she never got shot, you know what I mean? That's something, because when people die, you try to like put yourself in their situation, you know, kind of, and yeah, somebody getting shot, like a person, you got to try to feel that, and he had a heart attack and died, bro. That's crazy, man. That's cray. Damn.
As for the family, held in the pastor's embrace. One family I spoke with says their son is gradually starting to talk about what happened inside that classroom, and as difficult as it is for him to talk about it, it is excruciating as a parent to listen what their child had to go through.
Meanwhile, traumatized survivors, elementary school kids, will carry forever the horror of hiding from a killer with a rifle. One girl we spoke with heard the shots and the screams. She hid under a table, and she lost her best friend. Fox 4's Alex Boyer spoke with that young survivor. He is in Uvalde tonight. Alex.
Yes, Steve, a very difficult story. You know, first off, I want to tell you I'm standing here at the town square where just a few minutes ago the community came together, held hands in a prayer vigil. Now back to that young 10-year-old girl. Her name is Gemma Lopez. I had a chance to spend a few minutes with her today at the park alongside with her grandmother. As she tells me she was watching a movie when all of a sudden a bullet came through the wall. It turned out that the gunman was right next door shooting inside that classroom. Sadly, her best friend died. Her grandmother, now worried about her mental health. The grandmother tells me that she and other parents were outside of the school desperate for police officers to go inside.
Then I just went to the window to go see what was going on. I saw a police officer, and then I heard more of the gunshots.
10-year-old Gemma Lopez survived the unimaginable. The Robb Elementary School 4th grader was in her classroom Tuesday morning when an 18-year-old gunman armed with an AR-15 style rifle began shooting up the connecting classroom next door.
A bullet came through the wall. It went in between Gillis and Stacy. It went past my arm and hit the table.
Lopez and her classmates were watching the movie Jungle Cruise. It was supposed to be a fun day with the end of the school year on the horizon. Soon, it was about survival. Her teacher turned off the lights and told the students to hide.
We're quiet under the table. I was crying just a little bit.
Lopez says police evacuated their classroom. She says she ran and never looked back.
I was just scared because I thought he would come in our room and shoot everybody.
Sadly, she would later learn her best friend, 10-year-old Eliana Cruz Torres, was among the 19 students and 2 teachers who were killed. Like many family members who first arrived on scene, Lopez's grandmother was desperate to get inside.
I don't know what to do. I mean, I wanted to jump the fence and see what's going on.
Witness video from the day of the shooting shows frantic parents pacing outside Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, begging police officers to go inside and confront the gunman.
You know that they're kids, right? They're little kids. They don't know how to defend themselves.
It's not exactly
right. Why are they begging them to go in, bro? Like, yo, if you're not gonna go in, give me a gun, let me go in, bro. I don't want to hear all this back off shit, my nigga. Excuse my language, but what the fuck, man?
Clear when, during the course of the police response, the video was recorded, but we do know from DPS it was approximately 1 hour from the time police encountered the shooter to the time he was killed. A tactical team breaching the classroom where 19 fourth grade students and 2 teachers were killed.
That long, I think that's terrible. That's terrible. They should have done something.
At a press briefing Thursday afternoon, the Texas Department of Public Safety laid out an updated timeline, reversing some of the information that had been previously reported. Wednesday, Fox News and others spoke to DPS officials who said the shooter and a school resource officer exchanged fire. But on Thursday, Lieutenant Victor Escalon with DPS said there was no officer on the campus and the shooter walked into an unlocked door on the west side of the school with no resistance. Police eventually did arrive about 10 to 15 minutes after the shooter crashed his grandmother's truck near the school and fired on 2 people at a nearby funeral home.
They hear gunfire, they take rounds, they move back, get cover.
They saw the gunman enter a joint classroom through 2 open doors, but instead of pursuing,
they don't make entry initially because of the gunfire they're receiving. But we have officers calling for additional resources. Everybody that's in the area, tactical teams, we need equipment. We need specialty equipment.
An hour later, a Border Patrol tactical team arrived with protective gear and a shield. It's unclear how many children who were shot early on may have survived had authorities gotten into the classroom sooner. And as this investigation continues, more tragic news from the aftermath of the shooting. Thursday, the family of Irma Garcia, one of 2 teachers killed, announced her husband, Joe, suffered a fatal heart attack. Their family posting online that the grief of losing his high school sweetheart killed him. They leave behind 4 children, the youngest 13 years old.
Here you go.
Meanwhile, the community continues to stop by the school and pay their respects. Some parents of the victims, including the father of one 10-year-old girl, insisting police should have done more.
A lot of the parents will argue with the police. Y'all need to go in, y'all need to go do your jobs.
And as we come back out here live at the town square, you may be able to see in the distance there that folks are beginning to light candles and placing them in front of the 21 white crosses that are honoring the lives of those 19 students and 2 teachers who died. Now, it's worth noting that there are numerous reports of several parents who had been directly confronting law enforcement outside of the school, begging them to go inside. The Wall Street Journal reporting that one woman said that she actually was handcuffed by some U.S. Marshals on scene, but eventually jumped over the fence, went inside the school, and got her kids herself.
I heard that shit.
A spokesman for the U.S. Marshal's office denies those claims. Steve.
All right, Alex, we've been talking a little bit about the protocols for a school shooter, active shooter, that the protocols now say you got to just go in and take him out.
Right.
Earlier today, you spoke with a retired police officer about how law enforcement handled the situation. What was his take on all this and what happened?
Yeah, he's a retired police officer and also a firearms instructor who is now a lecturer to other police departments. And he tells me that, you know, based on the information that he knows, he says it's very difficult to stop something like an AR-15 rifle with a service weapon, the pistol, the gun that would be given to a police officer that they would normally carry with them at the time of an encounter like that. Still, though, he went on to say that he believes that the tactical unit did absolutely everything they could could, as fast as they could, to get inside of that classroom and to keep the situation from getting any worse. Of course, that's of little comfort to the parents who lost loved ones.
All right, one bit of confusion still from your story, actually, the news conference information. In that news conference, we were told first responding officers heard gunfire, that they saw gunfire, and they did not make initial entry. Is there clarity about if they were actually being shot at, or were they hearing the attackers shooting, maybe shooting victims? Do we know?
Right, well, according to the Uvalde police chief, who put out a statement this afternoon, he says that the officers, his officers, engaged the gunman inside the doorway there of the school. And actually, those two Uvalde police officers did suffer gunshot wounds and then retreated back outside of the building. And then again, what we found out later on was that additional officers were called, as well as the tactical team that ultimately breached the classroom about an hour from the time that that suspect crashed his truck near the school grounds.
No tengo palabras para decir porque no sé lo que estaba pensando.
I don't know what he was thinking. New this morning, we're hearing from the mother of the gunman in the Uvalde school shooting.
The 18-year-old bought 2 guns days before the attack, and his mother now apologizing for her son and begging victims and their families for forgiveness.
Meanwhile, the families of some of the victims in Uvalde are reacting today after the admission by the head of the DPS that officers should have acted sooner to stop the shooter inside Robb Elementary. Meanwhile, the community continues to mourn. Here's Adam Bennett.
The memorial in Uvalde's town square continues to grow. All day long today, we've seen people coming by leaving candles, flowers, teddy bears, and leaving messages of love on the crosses for those victims. That includes Jose Mata. His brother, 10-year-old Xavier Lopez, was one of the victims inside Robb Elementary. Mata told me Lopez was an amazing kid who loved his niece and looked up to his big brother. Mata says none of those 19 children deserved what happened to them. This morning, the head of Texas DPS admitted that police officers responding to the shooting Tuesday should have broken into the classroom. DPS Director Stephen McCraw says officers thought they were dealing with a barricaded subject, not an active shooter.
It's ridiculous, man. They're here to protect our community and they didn't. They're being selfish, you know?
I also spoke with the father of another victim, Annabelle Rodriguez. He told me he is very upset with the police officers after hearing this news, and he wants someone held accountable. Authorities say it is still very early in this investigation. Meanwhile, back here at the memorial, friends and family of the victims, as well as total strangers, continue to come to pay their respects and grieve. In Uvalde, Adam Bennett, KHOU 11 News.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, man. That's a little rundown on the whole situation, man. I'm gonna have to agree with the families, man. I think that the police should have went in there, whether somebody got killed or not. That's after the fact. We can't let no kids get killed, bro. These are little kids, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's unacceptable. You feel me? As a cop, you know what I mean? I get it. You want to go home too, but you signed up for the job, bro. And yeah, you gotta protect and serve the community, but nigga, the most valuable people in the community is kids. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, you gotta try to save adults and other people. But when it comes to kids, bro, you gotta go in, bro. You know what I mean? It's war at that point in time. It's not a choice really at that point, bro. You gotta go in there. Whoever gets shot. That's just what it is, bro. Ain't no, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta sacrifice your life. Like old boy said, they was being selfish, trying to get home. You know what I mean? But in this situation, you gotta go in, bro. If you ain't going in, give somebody, the parents or somebody, a gun so they can go in. You get what I'm saying? Don't just let these kids just get shot up with a AR-15 in the classroom and y'all ain't going in there for hours. Nah, that's unacceptable, bro. So hopefully they change these parameters as far as what happens in the school shooting. They need to go right in there. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you gotta die. I don't care. You feel me? When it come to kids, bro, I'm going in. I'm gonna have to die. That's cool, nigga. You gonna be a hero. You feel me? After that, that's cool. But that's what you signed up for as a police. That's what fire department people, they were going in and blazing houses and buildings and stuff. like 9/11. They didn't have to go in there. That was a death trap. But they still went up there. A lot of them fire department men did not come out. You feel me? But they sacrificed their life trying to help other people. And I'll be damned if police is gonna sit there and hear gunshots in an elementary school and not go in there, bro. Talking about I'm waiting. Bro, ain't no waiting. So it's a line of fire. Fire department has to go into fire when it's on fire. Will they come out? They don't know. They going in though. And so this right here is unacceptable. I don't want to hear it. I have no sympathy for those cops at all. This is the circumstances that needed to be dealt with on time, like not an hour later, bro. When it come to kids, man, I would have went in there, bro. I don't care if my kids, whoever kids. It's not. So yeah, I feel like they should have went in there as soon as they got there. Whoever was there, let's go. And we killing this nigga. So at the end of the day, man, yeah, that's about it, man. Again, this is a sad situation. I feel bad for the families. R.I.P. to all the kids, the teachers that lost their life in this situation. Man, this is sad, bro. So I definitely make another video on the shooter, but not right now because it's too sensitive. So, but man, that's gonna be it, man. I ain't expect you to like the video, but if you like the content that I'm saying, you know, please subscribe to the video, to the channel, and hit that notification bell. We will be dropping more. This is We Start News, so we're gonna be dropping more videos coming soon, man. This kind of sparked me, give me a kick in the butt, like I need to be out here speaking. So again, and for all my subscribers who've already subscribed to the channel, thank you. And we out, man. Thank you. Peace.